motor check. Don't look any further, cause I'm the best. I can take those places you never dream of. I have what you need to soothe your nerves. I'm your fixing man, baby, that's what I am. Baby, I'm your fixing man, girl, that's what I am. Baby, lay back, let me find out what is wrong. A damp of my sweet stuff is all be gone. The outside man ain't giving you what you need. I'll be your sugar daddy, my job is guaranteed.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the eclectic ramblings of Paul Handsome Herring Sr., and I am your host, Isaac, the Smooth One Walsh, and we are 92.1 FM and around the world. How are we doing today, Paul?
Man, I am loving the life I'm living, just until I can live the life I'll be loving.
My man, all right, welcome to the show. It has been a really great weekend. The weather has been excellent. It is good to see your face. I have missed hanging out with you, and we are back, and I have, for our welcome back show, I asked you what to have, because we always start off with our Florida Mans. It makes me feel better about us. And it had our top 9 all-time stories, and we are looking forward to Paul justifying the stupidness.
What if I decide that just today...
that they're actually just dumb?
They're just dumb today.
Well, then you would agree with me, because that's what they are all the time. So, all right, we have our top 9. So I don't know if you want to pull this up or not, but we have...
I can.
I Googled 9 best Florida man headline stories of all time.
Of all time.
All right, here we go. The first one on the list, so technically number 9. Florida man threw a live gator into the Wendy's drive-thru.
I've heard of this on the internet. Pass. It was hilarious when the guy did
it. Was. Do you remember why he did it?
He was robbing it.
No.
Wait a minute now.
No.
So this is another... Wait a minute.
This is a different Florida man. You know, they have the Gators down there for the college, so. I just thought we'd bring this one up. He picked up a juvenile gator that he likes to ride around in his car and threw it into the window, and his reason when he went to court, simply because. You know, it's a Tuesday, and I thought, what can we do here? What do you got for that stupid right there, buddy? That's some high-class lacking sense.
I gotta ask. I really need some more background. Now, is this a drive-thru that he used to work at, perhaps?
Let's see what it says. February 2016, a guy picks up a juvenile alligator, drove to the Wendy's, and proceeded to chuck it through the drive-thru. According to his court case, the man professed that he had done it simply because. So his sentence was not very long, because his mother even told the news that it was a stupid prank. Way to go, Mom, on the stupid prank. That's good. If anything, the most impressive part of all this was even having the courage to pick up a random alligator and hold it in his car. So he decided, you know what would be cool? I'm just going to go find an alligator and throw it in the drive-thru.
I think what we really need to do, we need to look at the heat index in Florida.
The heat index? Is that why you think they do this?
I'm going to say it's probably 107. And about that temperature, the brain gets a little fuzzy.
You know what I think? I think what they should do is when these people do something like this, like the guy that hit the woman in the face with the chicken wing,
Right.
there should be an IQ test. I really think an IQ test would really be helpful.
I don't think you want to insult idiots. That's all I'm saying.
Number 2. Number 2. Here is the title. Are you ready?
What is it?
Florida cop claims Burger King put dirt on his food.
I do not.
Well, as a throwback to Super Troopers,
Just on his food, though.
Just on the police officer's food. Okay. Yeah. So, even cops aren't immune from the Florida's shenanigans and or tomfoolery. In 2018, a police officer complained that Burger King employees had put a gritty substance on his burger. But as serious investigations took place, they revealed that what was on the burger was the seasonings. You put salt
And pepper.
on my burger?
And it feels a little grimy. Wow.
The police
See,
officer...
I was ready to hear that they found crack. That
No!
they put crack on the...
And then he didn't pass the drug test or something?
Right.
Listen, don't put those thoughts out there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good little scam there.
Even though the police officer was insistent on what he believed the substance was, everyone can agree that gritty stuff in food isn't exactly the tastiest. Yes, you don't want gritty burger. You know.
You know, I don't taste the grit of my spices when I put spices.
That's because you don't put enough on there for it to be gritty.
There
That's
you go. That's just too much.
Yeah, so
Too
as a new
much.
guy, a little extra salt.
Yeah.
All right, number 3 on our list for Paul.
Yay.
This is the one I was waiting for right here.
No.
Yes,
no.
inmate
Uh-oh.
insists syringe pulled from his rectum are not his. This sounds so much like a, well, what happened was story. So you go ahead and justify this. Let me get this out, and I'm going to give you seconds because you're going to need it.
I don't need any time whatsoever. I know exactly what happened here. You know that bus ride
Okay.
from county
From county
to prison?
Okay.
You're not on there by yourself.
Oh, and he slipped, fell?
No. Somebody on that bus convinced him. Rather gingerly, I might add.
Gingerly. Very gingerly.
That
You
he
don't
had-
want that to be gritty.
He had two choices.
Well, it says here...
Sneak my stuff in the prison,
Or I'll sneak something
my
else.
stuff in the prison.
Here we go. It's getting weird. It says in one of the more bizarre Florida tales, even though the headline doesn't actually say Florida man, an inmate has 3 syringes pulled from his rectum. Not 1, not 2, 3 syringes. That feels like it would have took a little while. He insisted that they were not his after repeated questioning. The inmate was just entering prison following an arrest for marijuana possession when the syringes were removed during a body screening. Though he remained adamant that the needles were not his, he was slapped with additional charges for trying to bring them into prison. So here's the question out of that whole story. There was 3 syringes.
3 big guys on the bus. That's easy to believe. Come on now.
Yeah. This one's not
The
flying.
question is, how did they get them in the county? See, right? They went from county to prison, and they had to hide their stuff somewhere. So maybe it happened in the county. You know, while they're in the county lockup, Ralph and Julio.
Really?
Ralph and Julio.
This is what you're going with.
Ralph and Julio said, listen, you're going to take these in, or you're going to take this in.
Okay. There was 3 syringes, and that's all I have to say about that story.
I'm sorry. Maybe there was a Fred.
And my other brother, George. Oh, didn't. All right. Number 4, drunken man on Segway charged with DUI. This is a good one. Driver under the influence is a very common criminal charge, and many stories exist about people being arrested for it. But you've probably never heard of someone getting arrested for a DUI while on a Segway. In this hilarious case, a Florida man was arrested for DUI while riding the 2-wheeled scooter right in front of a police station after drinking 2 bottles of wine. So he decided, after 2 bottles of wine, I'm going to take my scooter and I'm going to drive drunk in front of the police station. Go
It's
ahead.
a scooter.
Go ahead.
It's
Make
not
that
a
make
car.
sense.
It's not a car. I'm not drunk driving. I'm not on the roads, for Christ's sake. I'm on the sidewalk.
And that's profiling
You
because
have-
they were pulling over every particular scooter on that sidewalk.
that day. I understand.
Yeah.
But in order to drive, you have to be on a road, per se. Right?
No.
Well, don't
No,
you have to be in
definitely
a vehicle
not.
that, I mean, if I was driving a lawn tractor,
Listen, do you know that they had to make a ruling in Ireland that you're not allowed to drive a cow home drunk since the 1840s?
thank you.
Okay,
I
there was no
understand that.
sidewalks or roads then.
I understand that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. We do not believe your horse crap story. Moving on. Number 5. Florida man tries to evade the arrest of the police officers by doing cartwheels to get away. I got an idea. Hey, look, over there. Cartwheels. It starts off and says gymnast. Probably not. It isn't the first thing you'd think of when trying to escape being grabbed by a police officer, but it most certainly was this person's. Outside the Orlando shop, a nimble Florida man escaped being apprehended by the police by cartwheeling away. After the man was chased down and eventually captured, he received a charge for battery of an officer. That certainly wouldn't put a spring into anyone's step. I thank you. That is something. Now, you explain to me how the battery charge happened, because when he's flipping away, did he like foot to the mug or what?
I don't understand why you don't understand. Think about this. My legs can only spread so far. Right?
Yeah.
If I cartwheel, I can go a good 4 feet further on each cartwheel than I can running.
You know, have you ever had a conversation with someone that you're then dumber for having that conversation? I believe that is happening at this moment.
It's science, Isaac. It's science.
How dare I be a science denier?
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's science. You can get a longer stride in a cartwheel because I mean, what is he? 5'6", 5'7"?
It doesn't say the length.
Every cartwheel gets him 5'6", 5'7".
I am gonna guess that alcohol and or drugs were involved in this particular getaway.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They didn't say why they were chasing him, did they?
They did not. But number 6, this is a gem for you. A Florida man calls 911 so he can get a ride to Hooters. If you need to get somewhere, you usually call an Uber and a Lyft, not 911. Well, apparently there's a better option. To score a ride to Hooters, this Florida man's brilliant idea was to call 911 to request a ride to the restaurant to help his ill grandmother, who apparently was at Hooters. It's getting weird. When she turned out to be fine, he was arrested on charges for misusing 911. It's unclear whether he was under the influence of alcohol or not, but regardless, it seems that some people still don't know how to use 911 after all.
So he had to go and find his mom?
Grandmother
His
at
grandmother
Hooters.
was at,
Walk that through your brain.
Wait, we're backing up now.
Yeah.
Working?
You know something? That is exactly where my mind went, and it's a Florida man story, so I'm not going to say it's out of the realm of possibilities. I'm saying there's a chance. All right, these are some gems, man.
I like Hooters.
It's for the wings, right?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yes.
Number 7. Florida couple trapped, quotation marks, an unlocked closet for 2 days.
Wait a minute. They were trapped in an unlocked closet for 2 days?
In an unlocked, I did not stutter, unlocked closet for 2 days. Panic can easily obscure common sense. In this example, 2 Floridians were seemingly trapped, quote unquote, in a janitor's closet for 2 days, but walked right out after they finally figured out that the door was unlocked. The closet was located at Daytona State University, meaning they probably weren't studying up on their classes that day. The 2 were hiding from the police and were in lots of pain while hiding. Thankfully, they were only charged with trespassing. They were in a lot of pain.
Small closet?
Well, I mean, just begs the question, what were they doing in there for 2 days?
I'm sure it had something to do with a broom.
A broom. Oh,
And a bucket.
Da-da-cha. All right, number 8 or number 2, depending on how you're looking at the list. Florida man posing as an officer pulls over an actual off-duty officer. You cannot make this up.
This happens too often. I'm not impressed. People should figure that.
Really?
People should-
There's people
yeah.
pulling over officers, pretending to be an officer on a pretty regular...
Yes, I hear it all the time.
Really? Where do you hear these things? Yeah, so...
On this show?
Police impersonators are quite common across the U.S., as you had mentioned. But in this case, one managed to back himself into a corner. A Florida man arrested with impersonating an officer had been driving around and saw a speeding car trying to pull it over, but when he finally did, it turned out to be an actual police car, promptly leading to his arrest.
Nice.
Now, you're right. Typically on this show, we get weird stuff. That's weird and also unfortunate. Don't you think?
What's unfortunate?
I look at that blue Impala over there that is speeding. I will pull that off. All right, number 1 on the list, or number
Well, I'm
9?
curious, what was he going to do if he pulled him over? Give him a ticket?
Don't have any
Oh,
idea.
Take a bribe. That's what he was wanting to do.
He pulled him over for money?
Well, yeah.
I'll let you out of this ticket if you give me $100?
Right. Just pay the ticket right now.
That's what it was. I hope that's the right answer, because
Yeah,
there's
that
more
makes-
answers
yeah,
that are
that make
that
more
are
sense.
much more strange than that, and I don't want to get into them. Moving on.
Okay.
Number 1 or number 9, as you see it. Florida man attempts to time travel, crashes into a strip mall. This is a true story. Ever wish you could time travel like they do Back in the Future? Is that something you want to do? Go back in time? Everybody wants to go back in time.
Ooh. How long have you been black? Back in time wasn't too cool for us.
Well, look here, man. But
Anything past 86.
listen, 70s forward would be all right. I think. All right. Well, you probably wouldn't want to try this back in time trip. A Florida man was arrested after driving his car into a mall in an attempt to time travel in the way that's done in the movies, driving 88 miles per hour in a car. Obviously, his plan failed, and time travel isn't exactly possible even at 88 miles an hour.
I would blame the shopping mall.
You would blame them all
Their
for getting in the
parking lot-
way?
Yeah, the parking lot wasn't long enough. That's all. You needed a couple more feet. Is all he needed.
Okay, so we're gonna agree to disagree on this point. That is number 9. That is number 9. That is our top list of the dumbest stories from Florida man of all time.
I don't know if those were the dumbest.
I don't know. The guy that got arrested for assault with a pizza,
Yeah, that was pretty.
that was pretty good. But the chicken wing one, assault with a chicken wing, was the actual charge. That one was my favorite.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, things in Flint have been going pretty good lately. Everything down at council's been moving along very good. And
Why would you say that?
because, man, things are in a really positive direction, and it allows me to segue to my next segment.
Oh, okay. That's what it is. This is a segue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
So, if you're going to keep up with us on Google, we are Googling good news or inspiring positive stories that have happened here in America. And the first one that I would like is a mechanic saved a family's dream holiday with a quick fix for a wheelchair malfunction in Australia.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool story. A good, honest mechanic is hard to find, is he not?
I would say so.
I would say that too.
I would say so.
But a good, honest mechanic is worth much more, as the car you bring is about as good for him as the car you bring in service. And in a small country town for just under 5,500 people, a local mechanic's talents saved the day and gave a wheelchair-bound child the vacation of a lifetime. That's a pretty good opening, right?
I guess the parents had nothing to do with it, but listen, I'll hear more. I'll hear more.
Thank you. I knew you would find the shade in the sunshine. It says a 9-year-old Cooper Greenwood from Sydney has
Had to be a Cooper.
some kind of a syndrome that I cannot explain. It's a rare disease. Similarly, it's similar to cerebral palsy, but
Okay.
similar but not the same. His family is already enjoying an outback adventure around northwest Australia in the Kimberley.
Wait a minute. Did you just say they were already enjoying
Yeah,
their vacation? Okay.
already was the word.
Continue.
And they were in the Kimberley region, and they were in a motorhome when his electric wheelchair broke. The chair allows Greenwood to move about with liberty because he can't walk very well. Decides he wants to go and what he wants to do. His mom says he becomes very frustrated and depressed when his anybody in a wheelchair, if the wheelchair doesn't work, would become depressed. Cooper tries not, and this kid's like 9 or 10. He tries not to let his disability get in the way of living his life, which I respect that. The wheelchair is a big part of that. However, he was determined to carry on with the trip and began hitching a ride with his dad in a special backpack that the guy made for his wheelchair, which is cool. As the family was preparing for the next leg of their journey, they took to social media and asked if anyone in the small town of Western Australia knew how to fix a sophisticated electric wheelchair. Someone responded,
Bring it on by.
where they were at, and it literally says they said bring it in. Sort of agreed to have a brief look at it and seeing the size of the wheelchair, and thought it might be very helpful for the young fella. Scott, the mechanic, diagnosed the problem and even managed to find the part he needed and get it shipped via express for the family when the got to their next stop on their trip, of which he met them and then fixed it, and they had to bring the piece out via helicopter to get the piece to the... That's how far out in the sticks these guys were. Isn't that cool? What a great story. Everybody helping everybody. See, it does happen.
No, somebody got a bill. Somebody got a bill.
Well, listen, that's where your brain goes on this story.
That's where my brain goes, because that was warranty work.
They took the kid on camping without his wheelchair, so his parents carried him out there so he could continue to camp. And when the kid got back, his wheelchair was ready to go, thanks to Mr. Scott, the mechanic that fixed
So they didn't
the
fly the part out to where they were camping. They flew the part out
to the city.
To the city where the guy was fixing the wheelchair.
You got it. That's a pretty cool story. I mean, come on. As far as positive stories go,
I like it. I mean,
my God! What's the date today?
It's better. It's better than what was that? What did you call those? Syringes in people's butts?
Three of them.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
This is much.
Larry, Moe, and Curly.
This is much better.
Yeah, this is much better than the 3 syringe story, and I'd appreciate it if we don't bring that back up.
Okay.
Yikes! All right, this is one I thought you would like. The Netherlands are to return nearly 500 looted objects to Indonesia and Sri Lanka. What do you think?
About time.
It's about time. Listen.
About time.
But it's good that they did that, right?
This is bad that they took him in the first place. But yeah. Why'd they wait so long? Yeah. Good that they did it now. Why?
Because we're a better society now. In that way.
Okay.
Thank you. 2 museums in the Netherlands have decided to give out 472 artifacts to Sri Lanka and Indonesia, which the museums claim were taken under duress by looters. So they identified ones that were stolen. The objects entered the nation during the Dutch East India Company's near monopoly in the trade region in Europe, and were once called the Spice Islands, as well as the following colonial period. So this is what, 1850s? 1830s, somewhere there.
Last week. What are you talking about?
Last week. Wow, your time. You know what? Were you time traveling in a mall? Is that what's happening? Anyways,
that was me.
in total, the reparations included the Lombok treasure, consisting of 335 objects from Lombok in the Lesser Sunda Islands of Indonesia, 4 statues from the Java Hindu Kingdom, 132 objects of modern art from Bali and from Sri Lanka, and a cache of ceremonial weapons from the city-states of Kandy and others, including a royal cannon made out of gold and silver, of which they got a picture of that, and that's just beautiful, right? Excellent piece of art. I love to see things going back to the people that got them made. You got to admit, that's a pretty good, feel-good story. Yeah?
It is.
Look how dejected you are and how good and positive this is.
It is a very positive story. It really is. And if more countries around the world would take this lead and return the crap that they stole, I'd be a happy camper. But, I mean, is it the spoils of war? Is that what you go to war for, to steal the art of the country that you're invading?
I have no answer for you. I don't know. I guess it would depend on the people that are doing it, correct? I don't know. I think people are opportunistic, right? Yeah. But we're going to keep this positive and keep going. I got one more for you, right? One more for you, and I'll let you pick. I'll let you decide which one that you think sounds great. Yes. It's all about you, Paul.
All right.
A police officer frees school inside Delhi slums, helping kids escape life on the streets. Lonely birthday boy receives big surprise when a convoy of 40 truckers come to parade through his town for his birthday. Or Meteorite hunter finds space debris and crafts it's into jewelry millions and billions of years old. Which one of those do you like?
You know, I gotta go with the last one.
The last one?
Gotta go with the last one.
Right.
My goodness.
So he takes meteorites and gets the debris, and he makes jewelry out of meteorites. It's pretty cool, and it's on there. I don't know what you would call it. It looks like something that you would get off of what are the space TV Star Trek. It almost looks like a Star Trek sign, but it's almost silver, and it's for a necklace. It said a man who hunts for pieces of comets that fell to Earth has created a business by making the ancient space debris into jewelry, which is a good idea, by the way.
My question is, how do you hunt for comets?
We'd have to ask the guy. I have no idea. I'm assuming they look for dents in the Earth, and then I have no idea. That's what I got. And then they leave these holes, and then that's what I got.
See, Isaac, the big ones we know about.
Yeah, well, I'm sure
those happened like 30,000 trillion years ago.
Well, 30 years ago.
30,000 trillion years ago.
I imagine he is an amateur astronomer.
We're working it out.
That's right, and I imagine that he watches where it falls and keeps track of where that is and finds it. I'm sure there's some kind of metal thing. I have no idea. I'm just talking. But his name's...
It's sounding shady to begin with. I think he's just picking rocks out of his backyard.
See, this is you going, if it was me, I would say, look at this. This is a meteorite.
All they ever said was that he looks for meteorites. They never said that he found them.
I love how you're like, okay, how can someone hose someone else? But we're still going to keep positive. And
I look for meteorites, and I make these when I find them.
That's right. That's what he says. And we're going to keep going because his name's Emil, and that's important. He's made a name for himself, showcasing his skill for hunting meteorites, since you brought it up. The 31-year-old from Buenos Aires, Argentina, documents his adventures collecting meteorites. Oh, so he makes a video of him finding the meteorites to prove that they're meteorites that fell from the heavens. That's how he does it. And then crafts the rocks into jewelry and sells them online. His pendants cost around $100, made from small fragments of meteorites. He estimates that they are between 1 million and 4.5 billion years old. And you don't think that this is a good idea? Yeah, he's got nothing. Moving on. Yes.
No. Any rock you pick up is going to be 4 billion years old, Isaac.
His pendants cost around $100. He also makes watches with prices starting to range from $395 to and rings for about $130. So you could get a real meteorite ring, according to him, and not you, for about $130. He has been hunting meteorites for a decade and says that they are extremely rare and difficult to find. He has been on a serious expedition to both the coldest place on Earth, the Arctic Circle, and the driest place on Earth, the Atacama, Atacama, the Atacama Desert, to find his treasure space debris. Every year I go on expeditions lasting 4 or 5 months above the Arctic Circle. A special metal detector he uses has pulse indicators that emit high amperage signatures, creating electromagnetic fields around the detector. When there is a metal object, the field collapses, creating a spike in voltage, and this represents a sound. That sound is the meteorite that fell to the Earth, and it can range from tiny to 3 meters, and he says it's very fun to find out about our world.
I like that they added all that to the story. That made the story more credible and believable.
Well,
I thought he was on some bull.
No kidding. I was not picking that up at all. Not even a little bit.
Good scam if you got one.
That's it.
But I like that, and it made sense. And I don't see how we can afford to do that. How can you afford to trot the globe if you're only charging $100?
Well,
and you're only he said.
I mean, if you get a foot by foot, right, and breaking that up into rings and pendants. I mean, you can make a lot of pendants and sell them across the world.
Yeah. He's doing it wrong. They should be $1,500 if they're 50 million years old.
Oh, now we get in there.
Give me a call, dude. Give me a call.
Oh my gosh! After bagging on the guy, but what I need you to do right now is a shout out for 92.1 FM.
I guess
WFOV.
I could do that. All right, guys, you're listening to you're listening to WFOV 92.1 LPFM Flint. It's a community service of Flint Odyssey House, managed by Spectacle Productions, and we are always. I say always. Did I say always?
Most of the time.
Most of the time. I'm going to say more than most of the time. Or always. Always looking for clean stuff, man. If your church has services that are going on, I'm sure you're not cussing. We can use it. If you got a band doing polka, I don't think there's cussing in polka. Is there? Polka,
I'm not a polka guy, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
We can use it. If you're a singer, a songwriter, and you do clean stuff, we can use it. If it doesn't have cuss words on it, WFOV wants it. 810-259-9789. It's 810-259-9789. It's got to be clean. Clean. Church Sunday clean. You hear me? Church Sunday clean.
Like crisp.
I like that.
Crystal.
Crystal clean.
Is there any other
Crystal
kind?
clean. Yeah, there can be some innuendo, okay? But no cuss words, and we'll put you on the radio. 92.1 LPFM Flint. It's our Voices Radio. We're dedicated to making a difference, but we need you to 810-259-9789. That said, I also want you guys to take advantage of FACT Channel 17. It's our public access channel. If your church has something going on that the community needs to know about, Channel 17 is the place to be seen. If you are an aspiring artist, dancer, songwriter, pianist, cellist, violinist, Channel 17 is the place to be seen. We can use your programming. The community can use the inspiration, and it's win-win for us all. 810-259-9789. I'm done. Is it your turn?
We're just getting ready to back the show, but that was a really good thing.
Did you like the way I did that?
I
What
did.
was that? Was it smooth?
It was so smooth, I would call it most of the time. All right, we are on to our tech segment of the day. Looking at things. Do you know who Mr. Beast is?
Mm-hmm.
He is the first person in the world to hit 1 million followers on his threads. That is
He was the first?
the very first. Followers. 1 million followers. That guy is really crazy with his stuff. But I have some cool tech I wanted to bring up there, and of course we're going to get your lovely positive opinion on it right here. Drones are giving lifeguards forewarning for sharks. Isn't that interesting?
So the sharks are flying drones and letting us know that they're
Yeah,
getting
you
ashore?
figured it out. That's what it is.
I guess
Drones
they
are being used to
guess
help
they gotta
identify
be-
the
yeah,
outlines
They
of
gotta
the...
be able to stand up so they're close to shore because of the electronics and stuff. But yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to talk to you afterwards. I think, yeah.
Drones.
So they use drones to help the lifeguards in New York to spot threats for people before getting eaten. So there's no Jaws incidents.
Did you just say New York?
I did say New York.
The state of New York or the city of New York?
I'm gonna say, I don't know.
Well, I guess there
I'm gonna say the
are
States.
sharks on the East Coast because that's where Jaws took place, right? In Boston.
Yes, the whole East Coast has
Yeah.
sharks. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So drones is a good way to keep away from the sharks. That sounds like a movie to me.
Or
Using the drones to attack the sharks, attacking people, so on and so forth.
why not radio-controlled submarines? Then that way you can at least shoot the sharks.
Shoot the sharks.
I mean, you know,
I don't think
some
you want to
kinda-
shoot the sharks.
so-
They're part of the process.
It's a deterrent, not a not a lethal shot.
Well, I mean, you could like shock the water, maybe, or
More
give
like
a little
yeah,
shock,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
more-
a dog collar.
More
maybe.
like a what you call it? A
Oh, what
taser
you-
gun, a taser.
Oh, we could taser them in a submarine.
You taser them with
Yeah.
little radio-controlled submarines.
You know, I'm gonna stay away from submarines after the whole.
Or even better. Wait a minute. We make the submarines look like female sharks,
Yeah.
and then we just scoot their butts
That
out to sea.
listen, that train is derailing. Just
How much is a drone?
not $100. Well, theirs are
And
probably.
a shark suit is only $200. Shark skin suit.
Yeah.
We could dress that up and have it.
Yeah, the next time
Is
you
there a
have an
number?
idea, I'm gonna have you put it in a memo first, and then we're gonna have to talk that one.
Tell
through.
me there's a number to call. I can help these people.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. And then one I thought you might like here is futuristic backpacks includes robot arms and interchangeable hands. Something to do in Japan.
What? Just pull up a picture. Pull
That-
up a big picture. I want to see a big picture.
Yeah, right here. Look at that. It's remember what was the movie with Will Smith? The robot movie. Which one was that?
AI?
Yeah, it looks it's white and black, just like that. Robot arm attaches to backpack that can dance, hug, and change minds. The scientists say.
Show me the arm.
I just showed it to you for crying.
Oh,
out
it's on a commercial? We'll
Yeah.
wait for the commercial.
We gotta wait for the commercial to get done. But
We are not
basically,
sponsored by any of
see,
these people.
look, it looks like an AI arm, and it's what was that? Doc Ock. It was like Doc Ock. See, it's like having 4 arms, except they make it look weird with them dancing. So, but I don't know why you would need 4 arms on a backpack. I imagine there's some kind of purpose, but multiple.
To hold the backpack is all I can.
No, the backpack holds the arm, so
Right,
you
so
can
now
use it
you-
for multiple things.
Well, I guess you could put your purse on that arm
I
and
don't.
walk hands free.
I thought for sure you would know how to use 4
I'm
arms.
thinking that this is a cell phone holder for rich people.
I don't know. I think maybe a scientist that wants to do 3 or 4 things.
Pull up Google. Pull up Apple Glass.
Uh,
Have you seen Apple Glass?
Apple Glass.
Yeah, just type in the search.
We're
This stuff is fabulous.
What
These
is
people are just mind-blowing engineers. So they've been trying to do Google Glass and all these kind of augmented reality glasses,
okay.
and Google was just ahead of its time. Some
Okay.
10 years ago when they tried
All right.
to do
Apple
glass.
glasses. Everything we've heard so far.
So Apple
Look
has
at those.
made their own, and that must be the sports version, because the one I saw,
The sports
the
version.
one I saw was more like ski goggles.
Really. Well, the ones I saw up at Best Buy are the ones that got the ear pods in them, and then it has actually a camera on it.
Those are VR goggles.
Yeah, those.
These are augmented reality goggles.
So what's the purpose? Tell us about these, because I
The
don't know.
purpose of it is a computer in front of your eyes, and you can make phone calls, you can check your mail, you can go shopping.
While you're doing
it's-
what? Walking?
Well, say you want to get a refrigerator.
Yeah.
You can go to Best Buy, click on the refrigerator you want,
While you're
and
sitting
look-
outside.
and look at your kitchen, and place that refrigerator where you want it to go.
Oh, it spatially sticks it in there?
It's, augmented reality, yeah.
Oh,
It'll
wow.
put the refrigerator or the TV, or so you can see how things look or colors. You
Yeah.
go to Home Depot and pick a color swatch out. You can look up and
All right,
now
and
your
how
walls have
much
color.
do you think that costs?
Stop! I'm not done yet.
Oh.
There's more.
But wait, there's more. And for $19.99 plus shipping and handling.
Watch videos. You can do anything you can do on a computer on this thing.
So you would use the glasses for augmented reality
Well, here's what's-
instead of regular reality?
Well, as an entertainment device, it would be like your television set, but you can wear it. And your television
All the
and
time.
computer, well, when you want it to. Well, the cool thing about it is that the lenses themselves smoke. They darken so that you can see. On the
I
inside?
see.
But then if somebody calls your name or says something to you and you need to see them, it wakes up and it shows a picture of your eyes on the screen outside of the camera. So people see you, they
They
see
see
you
your
seeing
fake
them,
eyes, seeing them,
and you're looking through the
seeing them.
glasses at them
instead of using your regular eyes just to see them.
instead of doing those. Numbers.
Oh.
You can just leave the glasses on.
Yeah.
Fabulous. I like these things.
Fabulous.
So you know how much they cost?
About $4,000.
How'd you guess?
Well, I was looking right at it on the TV
It
screen.
is right
so
on the screen.
it's like glasses, but for your laptop, and there's this screen. that you
It
can
was
look
like
at.
I heard $3,500, but I'm sure that's the entry level.
Well, $34.99 is a price tag for the Google-like design.
Oh, that's the Google light. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one. Keep scrolling.
I don't
There's
know,
gotta be
they're-
another design.
I don't know. They're pretty sharp. They had a Bloomberg report on the Apple AR glasses. They're expected to synchronize with the wearer's iPhone to display things such as text, emails, maps, all your GPS, games, and for your entire field of vision. So you can literally put the glasses on and live in your computer.
Yes.
That's basically what it is. So you can make a world where you're the god and everything in your world happens the way you want it. That's basically.
Well, I know the glasses are for mobility. You know what I mean?
But how are you going to be mobile while you're looking at all that stuff?
Because it's translucent. You can see everything through it.
No, I get that
It's
part.
like
But
looking
when
through a
you're
window.
focusing on the text, you know what you're not focusing on? The windshield.
Walking or driving. or
Yeah,
whatever
so you're just
else
going to
doing.
walk into stuff.
But maybe you mute it while you're walking, and then you sit down. When you sit down on the park bench, you turn it on.
So now we have the ability to mute our eyes.
To keep it from taking full effect. Again, it's going to be augmented reality, so it's going to tell you, hey, there's a bench in front of you, even if you're not looking.
Oh, so
It can tell you. It can do crash detection. It's going to be watching where where you're not.
So you're going to have crash detection glasses for your walking, which is going to go into the cars that drive themselves, and the four-arm robots with the backpack.
Could be a windshield. Those could end up.
Yeah,
being
BMW
windshields.
actually had that. You remember the Tom Cruise movie?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All that stuff's insane. I think it's wonderful and terrible at the same time, right?
Wonderful and terrible at the same time.
I do. I think it's amazing because the opportunities it gets, but I also think it's extremely scary because somebody can watch every single thing that you're doing all the time, right down to knowing the size of your refrigerator. And for some reason, I don't know. I don't like that part.
I'm not that scared. I'm not trying to take over anything. I'm just
not trying to
living
take
my
over
life.
things either, but I think that other people might want to do that. Hence, West Indian Company giving back stuff from the 1850s. Not that we just had a story on that, but I'm just saying. All right. So now we get to go to world religious news, and we have some trending stuff in Christian news highlights. Kirk Cameron. Do you remember him?
I do. He did the movie.
And he did that daytime show and all that.
Yeah.
And the two witnesses and all that, shooting fire and all that.
But
Yeah.
he did the thing about the Rapture too. That movie about
Yeah,
the Rapture.
yeah.
After he got done with the TV shows, right? Oh
Yeah.
wow, he doesn't look the same at all, does he?
He looks different.
Totally
I'm gonna say
different.
there's some work been done to his face there, a little bit.
Really.
Very smooth.
I think it's his brother. I didn't look like Kirk Cameron from. Well, I want to say Different Strokes, but it wasn't Different Strokes.
No, but it was one of those 80s
One Day
shows.
at a Time.
Yeah.
One Day
Some-
at a Time. No, it wasn't that one either.
Anyways, Kirk Cameron requests investigation into the American Library Association for religious discrimination.
Believe it or not, I worked for them.
No way.
I did.
What?
The American Library Association hired me in the late. What year was it? 83 maybe?
Doing what?
84, 85.
Putting books away?
Flying radio controlled balloons at their
Shut
conference in Utah.
Radio controlled balloons.
I had a radio controlled balloon advertising company in the 80s
No kidding.
where I flew
Of course you did.
replicas of hot air balloons
Yeah.
indoors in shopping malls and conferences. And
Oh, the little
convention
mini
centers.
ones? No kidding.
These guys hired me to come out to Utah.
Utah.
Yeah.
What's in Utah?
Me? Yeah, I was
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
it was the best time ever. Are you kidding me? I loved Utah.
Okay, that's not a state where it's like, oh yeah, I had a great time in Utah. That's not one of those sentences that you hear very often. That's
it
all.
was a fabulous experience to the two girls that I met and the Native American family that I had dinner with.
Really?
Yeah. no,
All right,
we
what
were
did you
there
have for
three
dinner?
days. Huh?
What'd you have for dinner? Was it like
Crow.
authentic?
We all ducked down when the I'm sitting. I just met this guy. He was my waiter at the restaurant.
There it
On
is.
Friday. Saturday, I go in and we're talking. He says, "Man, come on by the house and blah blah blah."
Yeah.
So we go by the house. Sitting on his porch, me, him, and his family. You
Yeah.
know, his Native American family. He was the only brother
Yeah.
in the whole family. We were sitting there on the porch, and somebody said "Popo." Then I looked up the street and saw a police car.
Mm-hmm.
When I looked back around, I was the only
You were
one
the
on
only one there. They were that fast.
They were gone. Gone. By the time the police came by the house, I'm just sitting there wondering where, if there had been birds on the porch, feathers would have been floating down, waiting to come. That was a wonderful experience. That's Utah for me. All right, keep going. It's the
No, that
Library
was very
Association.
interesting. That was very interesting. I love that your memory was Duck the Popo. I love that part.
It was amazing.
All right, so basically, he had an interview with the Christian Post, and it claimed that the ALA issued advisories in numerous libraries across the United States to discover ways to block his nationwide See You at the Library program, which takes place August 5th. That's strange. Why would they block that?
A program that they're having.
For
They're
the
hosting it already in their facility, so what would behoove them to...
I don't know. Let's see what it says. It says,
kibosh it?
First Liberty and I have launched an investigation with the federal government to hold the American Liberty Association accountable for the religious discrimination, willful violation of the Constitution and the ALA's own internal rules to allegedly protect all people's access to public libraries. Accountability is coming, he said. Over the course of the year, Cameron has received pushback from libraries for promoting his faith-based children's book, As You Grow. He recently released his second children's book, Pride Comes Before the Fall. He told the Christian Post that one reason he wants to host his storytime events in public libraries is to encourage thousands of Americans to visit the public libraries, which would be in their benefit, right, and read wholesome books to the kids. The taxpayer-funded American Liberty Association is not only criticizing me, they are teaching libraries to break the law and conspire to prevent thousands of families from visiting their own community reading rooms. I don't know. Sounds like, I don't know. I think that people should go to the library. I think it's a nice public thing that people should do. I think books should be read. I think if anybody wants to help the kids read and stick the books in there, you should do it. I don't know. Everybody's going to agree and disagree.
What if I'm Buddhist?
What if you're
What
Buddhist?
if I'm Chucky Manson? What if I'm...
Chucky.
You know what I mean? So you open the door, everybody's got to have equal access. The Ku Klux Klan has to be able to do it. The Grey Panthers, the Black Panthers.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Poor Boys, the Proud Boys. You see what I'm saying?
I see what I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay, so now if they open to all groups...
I mean, I've never ran into a KKK reading club, but I'm sure they have them.
They definitely don't know how to spell.
I'm pretty sure they don't. All right, now we get to go to my favorite one. Is the Flint Beat here in the city of Flint. Our community voice and our news, which is ours. Let's see what they got. Main page is a commercial, which we're clicking on. MCC U of M Flint agreement aims for smooth transition for associate degree holders. I didn't know that was a thing. So between Mott Community College and U of M Flint, so if you get your degree in Mott Community College, the transition of your... Oh, yeah, because you used to have to pay for the credits because it wasn't done to school. So they must be partnering with them to get that done. That's great. Mott Community College and the University of Michigan Flint have entered an agreement that aims to ensure a smooth transition process for Mott's associate degree students looking to earn their bachelor's at U of M Flint. Friday, June 30th, 2023, so this is recent. Officials signed the MCC to U of M Flint transfer pathway. Higher education is the best opportunity for us all. That's pretty good news right there, bud. What do you think?
What's that?
I'm going to click on it. You just like snorkel, shiny thing, swirl.
Are you going to click on it?
All right. Okay.
Are you going to click on it?
So on their thing, Flint Council member Eric Mays questions the legality of city's ARPA advisory committee. I have got to click on this because it's going to be entertaining. All right. Let's see what we got. He's in a suit. Oh, it's nice.
That's an old
I see
picture,
his
though.
pocket there matches the tie.
That's an old picture.
That's got to be an old
That's
picture.
in the old council chambers, you can see.
Yeah.
In the old spot. Hadn't been there for a while.
All right.
But he's got a mask, so it's current enough.
All right. Flint City Council member Tanya Burns and Eric May say they believe the city's ARPA Community Advisory Committee is violating Flint City Charter and the Open Meetings Act. The The two council members called a special meeting on June 28, 2023 for the purpose of talking about Flint's America Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA funds. Council members Jerry Winfrey Carter and Quincy Murphy were also present at the meeting. It has come to our attention that Mr.
I was there.
Oh, you have inside baseball on this?
Keep reading.
Oh,
Keep
okay,
reading.
all right. He's
Keep
that's
Keep
It's come to our attention that Mr. Neely has appointed what he call an illegal, unlawful 12-member advisory committee. May said during the meeting. He noted Flint City's charter dictates that an advisory committee in charge of taking care of city business is illegal unless approved by the city council. Ooh. Appointments shall be made by the mayor with the approval of the city council. The charter reads in Article 6, which pertains to multiple member bodies. For her part, Burns said that the committee also violates the Open Meetings Act, citing that the committee has been meeting secretly at the Gloria Coles Flint Public Library.
Well, how do you read secretly if you know where they are?
So it's like my mind and yours were melting. If it's secret and you know where it is, what makes it secret? I don't know. But it's very interesting. Those things have not been posted. Oh, because it wasn't posted, it was secret, I guess. They're in violation of the Open Meetings Act at the public library. Any multiple member body is supposed to make sure that you post the meeting so the public can attend, she said.
That's 100% true.
I'm sure it is. And
For city,
business. City
for
council business.
for city committees,
Yeah.
for city advisory boards. This advisory board isn't the cities.
Really, what is it?
Community foundations.
Oh, so a foundation is not part of the city?
No.
So then...
But I mean, the community foundation probably has open meeting rules they have to follow, and I don't know what those
Well,
are.
I don't know how public the public library is.
The library is pretty public. But the
Wow.
bottom line is it's not a committee of the city.
Well, I thought maybe that, because it said public in the name, that...
No. So,
I don't...
see, my understanding
Yeah.
of the whole ARPA project is that the federal government said that municipalities are not allowed to distribute the money.
Well, there's a rebuttal.
It said that. Let me hear the rebuttal.
Yeah, there's a rebuttal.
Yeah.
Flint Mayor Sheldon Neely, office and the legal department maintain that the ARPA Community Advisory Committee is not a multi-member body, and therefore it is not subject to the charter's regulations around such bodies, which you were just actually saying. The ARPA Community Advisory Committee has not been given any specific powers by ordinance or resolution to make decisions or take final official actions, wrote Flint Communications Director Katie O'Neill in June 29 email. As a result, it is not a multi-member body as defined by the charter and is not subject to the Open Meetings Act. City Council is well aware of this fact, yet specific members continue to spread disinformation to the detriment of our community. That's our rebuttal. And so those are the two sides of the coin there. What do you think of the information?
If I had my druthers and I had to choose to believe one or the other, I'd have to question both. Explain to me why it isn't a multi-member board. Is it the cities? Show me the charter. You know what I mean? And why it's not. But even the bigger picture is, who cares?
Well,
The bigger picture is who cares.
I agree. I agree with you some, and I disagree with you. On one side, I think the question is there. I think the answer is there from the mayor's side as well. But the fact that it's definitely in the public library makes it to me that it's public, and maybe that piece of information wasn't there. But also, the thing that's most important is making sure the funds get to the community of where we want. So if that's the goal, I would want them to work together to be able to accomplish that goal, right? And that's where I kind of see it on both sides. What do you think there?
I think that it really doesn't matter until they do something. If they make a recommendation, then they're in violation of what the mayor's talking about, right?
Yeah, and if they're not,
And
let's
if they're
get it
not gonna
posted.
if they're not going to make a recommendation, why do they exist?
And then let's get it posted so we can get this done, so we can get the money to the community.
I mean, I see the
right?
the council is upset that they don't have they're being bypassed in this process. They're supposed to have the final say as to who gets to sit on these boards and commissions. The mayor has to propose them, and they have to.
Oh, so what
approve
you're
them.
saying is that, like, the mayor got a group of people that's not a board, so they didn't have to get their approval to get it done, and
I
that's
don't
what
think
they're
the
upset
mayor
about?
did it. I think the organizations that have been charged with picking the nonprofits to distribute the ARPA money
Yeah.
have created this commission to figure out what they're doing.
And what's wrong with that?
I don't think anything
I don't think
is
there's
wrong with
anything
it.
wrong with
I
that.
just don't know if they have open meeting. Open meetings don't necessarily translate to the public sector, but these are nonprofit organizations.
Well, I wonder
so
what
they
day-
have to have some kind of oversight with the meetings, but then they have to also have some privacy.
Well, I wonder where it says if the meetings.
Every meeting that
No, at the public
Foundation
library.
has.
I wonder when those meetings are at the public library, and then we can just let people know, right?
maybe not. I mean, why
I don't
don't they
know.
just rent a room at the public library?
Yeah, I don't know.
The public library is available to anybody to rent a room. It's a convenient, centered location.
Well, it says here the proposed ARPA committee is like the Blue Ribbon Task Force and the Committee Advisory Task Force, which is just a group of people from the community brought in together, right? The proposed ARPA committee is not empowered to make any final decisions, and may only make recommendations to the administration and city council for their consideration. So it sounds like the mayor's talking to people that are active in the community to see the people that are active what they could use the money for. That's what that sounds like. Do I got that right?
I would think so.
I think so too. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but that's what it kind of sounds like. The people doing the work, he wants the people's opinion of the people doing the work, and that makes sense to me. Burns, however, sought another legal opinion from Lento Law Group, which provided her with its opinion on June 21st. John Fernandez, an attorney for the law group, wrote in his opinion that the Blue Ribbon Task Force and other similar bodies are considered multiple member bodies. His full response on the Blue Ribbon Task Force or similar situation bodies is because of the requirement under Act 6. So they're arguing about this. Burns declined to comment on this act, and when looks at opinions, there are deep concerns for the committee. And the committee is the nonprofits that are doing the work that the mayor sounds like he's getting their opinion from. Mays also will not speak directly about his plans, but says he's talking to attorneys, and his response was, quote, "We'll see what happens," end quote. The city initially announced the formation of the ARPA Committee Advisory Committee on December 6th, 2022, saying the committee would help evaluate ARPA community grant proposals and make award recommendations related to the $18 million available for our community's grants as part of the City of Flint's overall allocation of America Rescue Plan Act's funding.
Woo, that was a mouthful.
Woo!
Listen, you got less than 60 seconds to say goodbye. Why don't you look in the camera and do your little thing for Cigar Bar?
Listen,
Make
real
sure we
quick.
get in.
The committee's recommendations will be reviewed by the mayor and Flint City Council, who will make the final recommendations. So this committee is advising them, so then the mayor and the city can work on it. So it sounds like it's all going to end up working itself out.
No, because they're not going to listen to a thing that committee says because they didn't have the power to appoint.
But those are the
committee.
people doing the work. So hopefully they do
They
listen.
won't.
Hopefully they do.
Well, yeah, that'd be nice. Go ahead, do your piece.
Anyways, Cigar Fellas has Euchre Weekly, and Jason was playing with Mark this week, our greatest of all time working. He did very well. He was able to get 2 out of 3 games at Euchre Weekly at Cigar Fellas at 1086 North Irish Road. It is a cigar lounge, Davidson, Michigan, 48423. Paul, thanks for hanging out with me today, brother. It was a gas.
That was pretty bad. Pretty bad. All right, guys, remember, enjoy the life you're living just until you can live the life you'll enjoy. Peace.
Yeah.
Come on over now, get your motor check. Don't look any further, cause I'm the best. I can take those places you never dream of. I have what you need to soothe your nerves. I'm your fixing man, baby, that's what I am. Baby, I'm your fixing man, girl, that's what I am. Baby, lay back, let me find out what is wrong. A damp on my sweet stuff is all